Well, hello there, YouTube. It is Tuesday, and I am here for another layout using somewhat of a new technique I've been playing with. And this technique involves Adobe Illustrator, where I take an Allie Edwards cut file basically and turn it into my title. And then I play around with some other elements as far as gradients and color, and then I did add some elements here that are hexagons, and I used gradients for them that was a little bit lighter. So there's a lot you can do with cut files that are outside of the box, and I wanted to play around and kind of figure out a technique that would allow me to add title work before the end, which I'm terrible at the end. And if I do it this way, I'm much better about doing it. And I love Adobe Illustrator, so it works out well for me. I did a lot of this background work previous to, diving into some of my stash, which basically I just used some scraps to do the back of the photo or to layer the back of the photo. But I think a lot of the emphasis here was on that background through Adobe and this new technique. So I do end up changing. I've got this long strip of scrap paper there to the left of the photo. I do end up cutting some of that off towards the end after I make a cluster at the top. I'm not sure if you can see it in the photos at the end, but it just kind of bothered me that it went all the way down to the bottom of the page. And so basically, after everything was said and done, I just ripped that little bottom piece off. But I think the scraps are, I want to say this one to the left underneath the photo is an Amy Tan 6x6. And then I dug into some of my empty box product and a couple of other of my stash supplies just to build my clusters. Those punched out triangles, I believe, were just from a small couple of punches that I have, and I thought that it would go very well with the geometrics of the hexagon. And then I pulled out this ephemera from Bella Boulevard called Make Your Mark, and I'm just going to build some clusters with it. So anytime I feel like I'm lacking in some arena, so maybe it's title work, or maybe it's in mixed media or watercolor, or dimension, something of that, I'll play around with a new technique. And I really enjoyed figuring this one out because it's just very different, and I can throw it in there. I like to do a little bit of everything when I create, and so I don't limit myself to one particular style or one particular genre. I just like to try and play with a little bit of everything. So I did pop up some of this ephemera. That label says "Today I Choose Joy," and I also used a flare from A Flare for Buttons, which is just kind of a modeled bokeh heart. And I thought the colors matched very, very well with the background that I had created. And this is a photo of True and I at Mother's Day. And I want to say it was 2018 Mother's Day, but don't quote me on that. I just did another layout for Mother's Day, so yeah, it was kind of like in my stack of photos, and I thought that she just looked so sweet and adorable, and I loved making this layout, especially now that I have a title and I don't feel like I'm not titling my pages. I don't know why I feel pressured to do that or why I beat myself up over it, but I do. And so I feel very accomplished. Let's say that. So as you also saw, I grabbed some labels from Citrus Twist, and those were from the empty box. And one says lovely, one says #happy, one says happy people, and the one at the bottom says in this house, because that was at our little breakfast nook table where we like to display flowers and hang out and play board games and, have noms now and again. So I'm just going to finish this up with a little bit of Shimmer's product. And I'm trying to remember the color. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure it is, it's the one I use all the time. I want to say Pretty in Pink, but that's not it. It will come to me after I finish the video. The yellow is definitely no yokings. I can recognize it straight off. But I do love this dark pink splatter that I add to the background. Yeah, I guess that is it. It was super quick and easy when you've got the background pretty much done in Adobe and you print it off on your printer. It makes for a very quick layout. A couple of dimensional items and a little bit of scraps and you're good. So I guess that's it for now. Ooh, look at my pretty engagement ring. I was supposed to take Bab to look at the venue for the wedding, but he came up with a very nasty cold, so he's homesick this weekend. So we're having a very low-key 4th of July weekend. Anyway, that's it. I will try to edit some more videos for you and bring you another one very, very soon. I appreciate you all watching. Please thumbs up, and I will talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.